Tonight's headlines are brought to you by McDonald's and Mariana's Coffee.
Good evening, Commonwealth, and thanks for watching the Channel 2 News. I'm Chris Nelson. Let's take a look at tonight's top stories. 80 years ago, tens of thousands of casualties as Americans invaded the island of Saipan. Saturday marked 80 years of peace. Also tonight, bail denied for a former band teacher who has been brought from Malaysia to face local charges. And a 29-year-old local man breaks into a Garapan accommodation and is cornered by police in the bathroom. And the CNMI says aloha and mahalo at the closing ceremony of FestPac. Stay with us. These stories and more are next.
Find a plan that goes with your flow. Get unlimited local talk, text, and data at the most affordable rate with Unlimited Flow Postpaid.
I love Mariana's Coffee. Come join me for a cup. I think you would be really happy.
Half a day, women of the Marianas, in our roles as mother, wives, daughters, and friends, we often put the health of our families and loved ones first. But remember, to be the best version of ourselves, we must prioritize our own health. Regular screening like mammograms, pap tests, empower us to detect cancer at its earliest stages, increasing the chances of successful treatment. Take a moment to schedule your screening today. By taking care of ourselves, we can continue to care for those we love. Make your health a priority. Your loved ones need you, and you deserve the best possible care. Schedule your mammogram and pap test by calling the CHC Women's Clinic at 670-234-8951.
This is a bag, but for Steve, this bag gives him food cred. Because now everyone knows that when they have that craving, or they're just looking for the perfect deal, well, they just need to follow Steve.
Follow him all the way to the new McTerry Deluxe at McDonald's. It's an all-beef patty smothered with teriyaki sauce topped with lettuce and tomato on a sesame seed bun. For a limited time, price of participation may vary.
The 80th anniversary of the Battle of Saipan started early on Saturday morning. Relatives of those who fought here in the Pacific Theater were in the bow of a boat. They circled the Sherman tanks in the Saipan Lagoon. The boat then came ashore and the men landed on the beach of Saipan. 80 years ago, there was enemy fire. Today, a much different look as we celebrate 80 years of relative peace in the Pacific. A wreath was then laid at the Veterans Memorial. Barbara Alberti is the superintendent of the American Memorial Park.
We're here at the landing beach and we're going to do a reenactment. We have several sons of 4th Marine veterans, and that is really amazing that they were able to come all the way here. So for us, it's really just a pleasure and an honor to help commemorate this event.
It was an emotional start to an emotional day.
My name is Lauren Cornegay-Dollar. I am with the National Museum of the Pacific War. I am here representing Glenn Johnson's relatives. He was at Tarawa and Saipan.
She brought along a military decoration awarded in the name of the president to those wounded or killed while serving. It's the oldest military award still given to U.S. military members.
This is his Purple Heart. He was in the 2nd Marine Division, and he landed just behind me.
Youth also represented well on Saturday.
My name is Darlincha Mosca. My title, I come with the Sea Cadets.
She says it's a very reflective day.
It's kind of crazy because we would never know what would happen if it never ended. Would I still be here today? Would anyone here right now would still be here today?
It's been 80 years since the Battle of Saipan. She says the Sea Cadet program is aimed at youths ages 13 to 18, and it has expanded her horizons.
It's amazing, honestly. You get to experience a lot of things, go through a lot of things, witness some new things that we can never see here on the island. Where that also this program made me seek outside of my comfort zone and my zone on the island and here, and just learning new things that I never thought I could learn before I got into a program.
Owen Everett Retzer just commissioned and was here to see history up close.
Right now I'm in Annapolis. These guys are awesome. They came out to the island to work at the hospital, and they've kind of fell in love with it, and they keep saying they're only going to stay for like 1 more year, but everyone knows they're going to be here for at least another 5.
This week, the family plans to meet with our resident historian.
We're planning on Wednesday to talk to author Don Farrell and go over a lot more of the history specific to the island during World War II.
Steve McLeod is the author of Black Dragon, a book about the experience of a Marine rifle company.
Well, it was a real treat to arrange to make a commemorative landing and to hit the beach at the same time that the Marines did on the morning of 15 June 1944, and that was 8:40 a.m. And if they slept at all the night before on the ships, some got a little bit of sleep, but they were awakened at 4:15 in the morning and fed steak and eggs, and then loaded in their amphibious craft a long way from shore, and pushed their way inland and made the landing at 8:40. So it was a real treat this morning to load the veteran sons in a boat that could make that same crossing from the reef all the way to the landing beach and arrive there at 8:40 and be greeted by Marines as well.
Brigadier General John K. Gerard, commander of the 4th Marine Division, one of the keynote speakers on Saturday at the anniversary of the 80th.
80 years ago, the fighting 4th Marine Division stormed ashore on these beaches. Earlier that morning, the U.S. Navy CATIF, the commander of the Amphibious Task Force, Admiral Richard Turner, had issued the simple but significant 4-word command that has launched countless Marines from ships to hostile shores. Land the landing force.
Gerard says the next 6 weeks the forces fought yard by yard against a determined and prepared enemy. The results are history, the cost staggering.
When the dust finally settled and the smoke cleared, the price in the blood and broken bodies of the flower of American men was staggering. Of the total division strength at the battle's beginning, 16,391, 7,887, half of the division, 1 of every 2 Marines and sailors were killed or wounded on these 2 small islands.
Families back in the mainland, wives, mothers, fathers, friends notified of deaths by telegram.
For them, their lives forever altered by the horrible price of war.
The Battle of Saipan and Tinian meant staggering losses for the Japanese as well. Both soldiers and civilians were killed or committed suicide. Chamorro and Carolinians hid in caves, unsure who would be the victor.
Let us pray together that war never again disturb the tranquility and beauty of this place and your homes. Next, to our Japanese friends, represented by Consul General Takagaki, we are honored and humbled by your presence. When the guns fell silent, just 13 months after the fighting here, America offered to the Japanese people not a hobnailed boot, with which to crush and humiliate a vanquished foe, but rather an open hand of friendship with which to lift up a proud people to stand side by side with us as together we seek a better future.
Gerard says the Japanese-American alliance is now the cornerstone of a free Pacific.
And finally, to our enemies, who are undoubtedly listening and observing what we do here today, be afraid. What you hear and see today demonstrates the power of hope, friendship, and shared resolve. The freedom-loving peoples of the world love peace, but not peace at any price.
Bail was denied this afternoon for a former Marianas High School music teacher who was brought back to the NMI after being arrested and jailed in Malaysia. David Fromm stands accused of 3 charges currently by the United States, including sexual exploitation of a child and possession of child pornography. Fromm has pled not guilty to the charges. His attorney, Richard Miller, then asked the court for more time to prepare for a set of bail conditions.
Under the federal statute, the court must entertain bail at the initial appearance, which she did, and the government has a right to ask for a 3-day extension to prepare, and the defense has a right to a 5-day extension.
Authorities began investigating Fromm soon after he returned from a March 2019 Guam trip with students. There was an allegation on that trip that he inappropriately filmed or attempted to film a student. Authorities searched his residence and his classroom and allegedly recovered some sort of contraption that could have potentially been used to film students in the bathroom of his music classroom. There's also an allegation that after that investigation began, Fromm may have ditched a laptop computer inside a friend's garage. That laptop was discovered in subsequent months and turned over to authorities. During the first phase of the investigation, Fromm left island quickly and quietly after camping out for a few days on the beach near Coral Ocean Point. Charges were not filed here until 2023 and were initially filed under seal. Fromm was living in Malaysia at that time with what authorities say is an expired U.S. passport. Fromm pled guilty to a charge in Malaysia earlier this year and was sentenced to 3 months in prison and about $3,000 in monetary fines. But the charge he pled guilty to is not one of the charges filed by the United States. Fromm did plead not guilty, as we said, at his arraignment here last week. Today was the issue of bail, and his attorney, Richard Miller, told the judge that Fromm has minimal criminal history, cited only for a misdemeanor drug paraphernalia charge, and that was over 25 years ago, and that those charges were eventually dismissed. Miller says Fromm has no history of violence and said that if the court were to grant release pending the trial, they would ask Fromm's parents to rent a local apartment that had no internet or computer access, just a landline. The United States opposed bail conditions today. The court looks at several factors in determining bail, including flight risk, danger to the community, as well as if there is clear and convincing evidence of the charges. Evidence of the charges, at least at this point, does not appear to be clear and convincing, said the judge, but she did find that Fromm was a flight risk. The trial is currently set for August. Bail set today at $10,000 for a 29-year-old local man accused of burglary. Stephen Roman Tudela, who will turn 30 next month, is in custody. He appeared in court this morning after being arrested. Police say they responded on June the 13th to a reported burglary and theft incident at Beach Garden in Garapan after a male individual allegedly broke into a room belonging to the boss. Police say a maintenance worker saw a male jump over the fence and run into another room. They called police. Police opened the room and found Tudela in the bathroom. Police say he was advised of his Miranda rights, and on the way to DOC, he admitted to entering the apartment and attempting to make off with a laptop, iPad, blood pressure machine, and some red and yellow short pants. Tudela's next appearance is set for July the 1st.
Upgrade your savings when you bundle with any iPhone 15 series today. Our affordable Link bundle gives you the power to choose just what you need, with mobile and home internet starting for as low as $105 a month, no home phone required. Plus, activate your bundle with a brand new iPhone 15 and receive your first 2 months of home internet on us. A $50 port-in credit, a SuperPod AX, and basic installation, all free for a limited time. Additional conditions may apply. Visit DocomoPacific.com to learn more. Docomo Pacific, better together.
Premium office space available now at the Hermosa Vista Business Park on Capitol Hill. Upgrade your work-life balance and enjoy a distinctive blend of location and nature with open spaces and ocean views. It's the perfect place for creative professionals who want real results. Call us at 670-483-4750 or email hvsaipan@gmail.com. Retired Brigadier General Mark Hashimoto spoke on Saturday and used his time to again recognize the local population known as the Marianas Marine Scouts, who used their knowledge to help the military in the subsequent days of the battles fought here.
So while the island was declared secured on July 9th, 1944, the military term secured does not by any means mean that there was no longer danger to U.S. forces or the civilian population. In fact, the danger would continue for quite some time, and the Scouts, using their intimate knowledge of the island, served critical roles, including locating Japanese supplies and groups of soldiers who continued fighting not only on Saipan, but also on the northern islands of Pagan, Maug, and Anatahan.
In January of 2000, the Scouts were formally recognized.
They received the rank of corporal, were awarded the same medals earned by all Marines who fought in the Pacific, and were subsequently honorably discharged.
Hashimoto says the Marines truly exhibited the motto written on the battle flag of the U.S. Marine Corps.
And while their conduct on the battlefield more than spoke for itself, it was this oath that sealed the recognition they deserved and made this group of 64 men full-fledged United States Marines. The 64 Marianas Marine Scouts, some as young as 16 years old, truly embodied the concept of Semper Fidelis. The Marianas Marine Scouts and Marines of the 2nd and 4th Marine Divisions, as well as the Army's 27th Infantry Division, who fought and died on this hallowed ground 80 years ago, helped ensure a better future for our world. But what of the rest of us? So to answer that question, I offer what Martin Luther King Jr. said in a 1954 sermon. We are not makers of history, we are made by history. So as we, as equal partners, face the challenges of today and tomorrow, may our actions echo the courage and fidelity of the Marianas Marine Scouts and the United States Marines, who fought and bled here 80 years ago together like brothers.
Military ships en route to the NMI. They should be here tomorrow. USS Rafael Peralta scheduled to arrive tomorrow. That's June 18th, Tuesday at 8:30 a.m. at Charlie Dock, and should be here until Friday. It's an Arleigh Burke-class guided missile destroyer in the United States Navy. Also coming tomorrow, the USNS Puerto Rico. That should be here at 10 a.m. is going to park at North Baker Dock and also depart on Friday, June the 20th. FestPac wrapped this evening, Sunday, in Hawaii time. Closing ceremonies were held at the Stan Sheriff Center on the campus of the University of Hawaii, Manoa, located just a few minutes from the famous Waikiki tourist area. One big piece of the Pacific that was missing for this FestPac, New Caledonia, which is currently engaged in a civil conflict. About 100 people from the CNMI made up the delegation. Yesterday, a number of them visited the North Shore, Waimea Falls, the Dole Plantation, and shopped at Walmart. Others participated in a barbecue hosted by the families and the community of CNMI people that are now residing in Hawaii. This is the 13th version of FestPac, and this year's theme, Regenerating Oceania. Over the last 10 days, there were cultural dances, arts and crafts, music, and even fashion shows held at the Convention Center, the Bishop Museum, and other venues. This showcase of arts and culture started in 1972 to halt the erosion of traditional practices through ongoing cultural exchange.
Hi, I'm Dre, one of the personal trainers here at Goat's Gym, and today we're going to show you a Bulgarian split squat, a fantastic lower body exercise that should be a main staple in your training. Now the first thing we want to address is the rear foot placement. Now whether it's toes on or toes off, just find what's comfortable for you. The bigger issue we want to tackle is the height of the box or bench. You see, when you set up on a box or a bench that's too high, that inherently puts an aggressive stretch on the front of your hip. Oftentimes, that sensation will take away from the working leg, the leg that's on the floor. And when you start to add load in this faulty position, you're bound to run into some problems, particularly if you got some mobility restrictions. So Jamila's gonna set up, she's gonna descend with control, and from there just stand tall.
Hey, golfers, come north and practice your game at the Marianas Driving Range. New Year's local specials. 10-piece coupon books available for just $60. That's a $10 savings. Want to get really good? Come work on your swing every day for just $99 per month. It's our practice pass and you're going to love it. Grab your passes and go straight to the range. You can social distance and chip all at the same time, and the views are free. Reserve now at marianastrekking.com. You can pay online, open 7 days a week. Beautiful weather all week in the Northern Mariana Islands. Scattered showers tonight, mostly cloudy with a low around 78. East winds 8 to 14 miles per hour. Chance of precipitation is 30%. On Tuesday, expect scattered showers and chance for thunderstorms, partly sunny. Highs near 86. East winds 9 to 13 miles per hour. Chance of precipitation is 30%. Wednesday, more of the same. Scattered showers and thunderstorms, partly sunny. Highs near 85. East winds 9 to 13 miles per hour. And Thursday and Friday, it will be mostly cloudy with highs near 86 and a low around 78. It is the longest days of the year, the next few days in the Commonwealth. Sunset tonight at 6:47 p.m. and sunrise tomorrow at 5:46. Just over 13 hours of daylight.